What an absolutely glorious morning. It is the 5th of January? 6th of January perhaps. Yeah, 6th. Sunday the 6th of January. First bimble out of the year. So 6th of January, first bimble out of the year. Wheeled the bike out the garage. It's been on the Octobait. Had to wind for a little while before she fired up, but a couple of pops and splitters and then straight away off, bang, off we go. Running lovely. I've toyed with the idea of a new bike, but you know, I don't know. Talking about spending an awful lot of money to get, well, more bike maybe if I bought say something like the BMW K1600 or the Goldwing, but not a big beast, and it was, the Goldwing's a bit too armchairy. The K1600 has all the comfort and stuff, but has the brute power and all the toys, you know, the cruise controls and all that. But I've got sat nav on this, heated grips, heated seat, tip over bars, wind deflectors, sat nav. Okay, it doesn't have a radio and it doesn't have central locking on the panniers, but do I need that? No. What a glorious morning. The biker, a nod, a nice nod back, excellent. I used to ride through the winter when I was a kid, you know, like a kid, you know, 17 to early 20s. Then got married, had kids. Needed a car. I used to still have bikes, but I would not ride through the winter because I became too soft, obviously. But back then, the weatherproof gear was not weatherproof. This kit that I'm wearing, it's just amazing. Several layers. Keeps me warm, it's waterproof. And there's Gore-Tex boots and winter gloves. And quite toasty warm without the heated grips on. Mind you, having said that, it's it's 10 degrees, which is incredible for this time of year. So I keep thinking of having maybe a lighter bike. Once the pan's on the move, it's a piece of cake. You can fling it around like a sports bike. Once you're travelling really slow, it's a different beast. You know, you really get to know about it if you park it nose down on a downhill slope and you're trying to pull it back out of a parking spot. You really feel it then. I quite like the Goldwing and the K1600 because although they're heavier, the seats lower down and the weight's lower down, so they don't quite feel as heavy. I rode the BMR 1200R, which was really light, nice, flickable, tons of power. But it's a naked bike. On my naked bike days behind me, who knows? The pattern gives me everything I need, if I'm absolutely honest. You know, so I had the 1100 before this, and I've been down to the Alps twice, down to Italy. So they're certainly capable enough. Maybe I'm just distracted by the shiny. Now, it's 10 degrees at the minute, but it was quite chilly this morning, so I've got to be wary on this kind of road. That there might be bits of road where the sun's not actually shone on it, so there might still be little pockets of frost. I've just got to be wary. First ride out of the year, so not ridden for, I don't know, a couple of months. This guy looks like he's edging out, bit of lateral movement. Yeah, he's seen me. So the side movement I'm putting in there as I approach a vehicle waiting to pull out of a junction is all about really trying to be as visible as possible. The human eye picks up lateral movement better that way than it does linear movement. So it's just all about being visible. That's the theory anyway. I think it works. So maybe that's the placebo effect. Who knows? I don't know. This is a great bike. So I had the 1100 before this, which was a phenomenal piece of kit. I sort of saw this as an upgrade, if you like. Bought it to do the Alps trip last year, but it had a teeny tiny oil leak, but it just made me uncomfortable. I knew the 1100 was good for the trip, so I did the Alps trip last year. Well, we went down to Italy last year, down to Lake Garda, as well as through the Alps. Well, I don't know if you can get to Lake Garda without going through some of the Alps. But, well, there were model boats on the lake. How civilised. So I knew the 1100 was good for the trip, so I thought I left this one at home until I sorted the oil leak. As it happens, it was near the Mountain of Summit once I got to it, but it was an easy fix. Somebody had obviously had the rocker cover off to do the valve clearances, and there's a little rubber membrane underneath the fuel injection assembly, and they just trapped a little piece of that rubber under the rocker cover gasket, and that's what was causing the leak. But I didn't have time to fix it or investigate it properly before I went to it. So we went on the 1100, but I'm going to do a foreign trip on this one this year. Unless I succumb to the shiny and buy a new bike, but I don't know. I'm not sure. This one's mine, I own it outright. It's you know, I don't own any finance on it, anything like that. Bike don't owe me anything. It's in good nick, new tyres. Slightly higher mileage, we've done 63,000, but it's an ex-police bike, so it was maintained really well. What have I done? Bought it last year. If I'd done the Alps trip, which was just over 3,000 miles, I would have done 12,000, but I've done 9,000 miles on the bike. and most of that since August last year, I think. So I've done a few miles. What a beautiful day. Absolutely stonking day. I put a balaclava on today underneath my neck warmer. I'm too warm. Just too warm. A few eggs out this morning. Everybody's thought the same as me. Looked out and thought, ooh, sunshine. Bike riding time. So I'm trying to think of the modifications that I've done to the bike. I've done obviously the handlebar risers, the helibar ones. They're good. They bring the handlebars, well, let me see if I got this right, up 2 inches and back an inch, or up an inch and back 2 inches, one of the two. But they make for a slightly more upright riding position, which I find extremely comfortable. To that, I've got the sat-nav mount on it. And I used to have the Garmin 550 Zumo, which is a great sat-nav, but again drawn by the shiny. I bought a Zumo 390, a nice piece of kit, so that's on there. Next thing down, put these grip puppies on, which make the job really quite comfortable. The one thing I did find was that at slightly higher revs, a little bit of vibration through the handlebars. These grip puppies just cure it, which is great. A tank bag. I used to have a Baxter tank bag that covered the whole tank. You put a big bag on the tank, but you don't really need it. All I need on the tank is something that's enough to hold my wallet, my phone and my passport for the foreign trippery. We have what else have we done? We've got a voltmeter, cigarette socket, or cigarette lighter socket down here, which gives me the outside temperature, the battery charge condition. Inside the right hand pocket there's a USB adapter. Well, actually there's two. This is one of my favourite spots for speed cameras around the corner here. On a biker. No warning, so I'm assuming there's no speed camera, but I'm still going to drop down. I have the wind deflectors on the mirrors and also on the fairing, which keeps a little bit more rain and wind off. They were on when I got the bike. New tyres. I've had fitted, I went over the lighting upgrade over in Lincolnshire, and he fitted the switchback indicators, which alternate between really bright white LED and orange, make you very visible. While he was in there, he replaced the side lights and the tail lights to LED, so they're super bright. I have the tip over bars just in front of the panniers, which are Goldwing crash bar things which have been modified. I bought those from America. They were good. And I have the Jivvy top box rack on the back, and I've had the lid of the Jivvy G46 top box. I've had it colour coded white, and there's a black rack on top of that which I've had stove enamelled, which looks really sharp. I have a new exhaust, but I'm just running the old one until it's no good anymore. If I'm going abroad, I'll fit the new one before I go. And a slightly taller screen, Garmin one, and a Corbin heated seat. The one thing I did find was that the original seat on the 1300 was not as comfortable as the 1100. It was alright. After an hour or so it started to feel a bit so I had a spare seat which I got with the bike. I had that altered at a place in Huddersfield. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. Tony Archer, lovely fella. It wasn't quite right when it was first done, so it went back 2 or 3 times, and he just sorted it. No extra charge too. What a great guy though. But this Corbin came up on eBay, and I thought, ooh, it's too good a thing to miss. And it's fantastic, very comfortable. This road surface looks incredibly slippy, so I'm just going to take it easy here. Very, very shiny. There are no clouds, so I know where the water's come from. So I'm riding in the middle bit, which is the drier bit. Lift the rider. Can't smell any oil or diesel smell. So I don't know where that water came from, but never mind. So yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with the bike. It's a lovely piece of kit. Just getting old, like me. It just glides along on the road. But yeah, this Corbin seat, when I first put it on, it felt really hard, but it's actually really comfortable. When I took this bike up to the west of Scotland last year, when we came home, I filled the tank before I left, and the only time I stopped was, did I stop for fuel? Yeah, about halfway down, stopped for fuel and a pee. But the seat was incredibly comfortable. Never at any point did I feel I needed to get off to rest my bum. Another big plus of the Pan, of course, is the fuel range. If you ride in a fuel efficient way, you can easily get 300 miles out of a tank of fuel. Easily. Now has he seen me? Still carrying a bit of a snotty nose. An indicator on that car, so I'm opening up the gap between, oh, he pulled in front of that car. You see, I'd opened up a gap between me and the car in front just to give the guy turning right across my path more time to see me. And again, I would have put in a bit of lateral movement. Now the guy 2 cars ahead, his speed is increasing, decreasing. I think he's looking for somewhere, so he's likely going to turn off soon. That might involve some sudden braking. I'm struggling to speak, I've got so much padding around my face. I won't wear that on the way back, I don't think. So yeah, we're getting a lot of speeding up and slowing down, so I think he's clearly looking for somewhere. There's nobody behind me, well there is, but they're a long way back. So I can brake firmly if I need to. Now I know just over this bridge there's a crossroads. There might be some sudden braking and a sudden turn involved there. So I'm going to make sure there's nothing sudden happens in my driving or riding. I'm going to go left here. So I prefer this bit of road. Apply and release the brakes a couple of times to make sure the car behind has seen that I've put the brakes on. I got a little close to me there, to be fair. This is a lovely piece of road, this. But again, I've not ridden it for a little while, so I'm going to take it steady, because there's agricultural land all around here. You just don't know if there's going to be a pile of mud on the road from a tractor. I can see there's already some remnants. Maybe some cows have gone from one field to the next. Maybe a whole lot of cow muck. Along the road I'm going into, there's one towards me and a van going the other way, going up ahead of me. Yeah, there's some mud on the road there, so... They're looking for clues like, and there's a tractor, so clues like, you know, if the field's been recently ploughed, chances are some of that mud's going to be dragged onto the road. Is that load secure? Yep. Some pedestrians. I think I've just spotted a little bit ahead just before the bridge, or have they got into that house? What did I imagine them? Don't really matter, does it? Either way, I'm planning for it, so... There we go. Going for a walk along the canal. I'm sure that's lovely. But it's not as lovely as this though. Just simple little things like, from a safety point of view, like coming into a built-up area. You know, when people are leaving the houses, sometimes they're leaving the houses in a hurry because they're late. So just being extra vigilant, really.